Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Jackie Chan-uary. What's up?
Another one. Another somewhat lesser known Jackie Chan movie.
Well, some people might question, guys, why are you doing such obscure movies? Why aren't you doing Rush Hour? Why did you do Shanghai Nights before you did Shanghai Noon, you morons?
Yeah. We just go against the grain, Dan. We do everything in our power to not go with SEO.
It's true. Except for next week's movie, but we'll get to that. But we have a very specific reason why we are doing today's movie, Mr. Nice Guy. What reason is that?
Well, Mr. Nice Guy was shot in Melbourne, our hometown. It's not just Canada masquerading as Melbourne. It is actually Melbourne.
Yeah, the film makes it abundantly clear that this is Melbourne. Yeah. There are some points in this movie where I could have sworn this is just a tourism ad for Melbourne.
I feel like it is as well.
Yeah. For maybe perhaps first-time listeners, Tavi and I both grew up in Melbourne. Tavi's still living in Melbourne, where I upgraded to a better city, the city of Sydney. So a lot of this episode will just be specific Australian references specific to Melbourne.
Up on the St Kilda Beach tram. I'm at Melbourne Central.
Where's Victoria Market?
So leave a like if you like local references.
Yeah. The plot's pretty simple in this one. It's just Jackie. We can actually call him Jackie because that's his character's name.
Yes.
in this one. He's a celebrity chef who somehow gets embroidered into a drug conspiracy, and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a videotape involved, but it's not important. You mentioned before we started recording that there are a couple of different cuts of this film.
Yeah.
So I watched the one that was available on YouTube, which is, I think it's a New Line Cinema cut, which has a few scenes cut out. I think maybe the start might be a little bit different as well.
Yeah, it is. Because I was watching the one on YouTube for a little bit, but I kind of noticed that the dubbing was a little bit off, because some people I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be Australian, but you're not.
Only stuff I got is mine!
Yeah.
And then I got a hold of the original Golden Harvest cut.
Yes, you went to your local video store and you...
Well, I had it lying around, yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. Okay.
The New Line version, it opens up with Jackie cooking first, but in the Golden Harvest version, it's just switched. It opens up with Giancarlo murdering Tina, the mole.
And it's very abrupt when he busts in on her as well. It's like she's having a relaxing time in the spa, right? And he comes in, he's all friendly to her, and then he suddenly dunks her head under the water, and he's like, I know who you are.
Well, she's kind of like a mole for the other bad group. It's Giancarlo's goons who were kind of just
I think they're the Italian mafia, right?
Yeah, that makes sense, Giancarlo. Some of this does take place in Lygon Street at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, then there's the Demons, who are the most 90s Hollywood action gangster in very colorful get-ups.
That's right. Sometimes they're British, sometimes they're Aussies. Their musical sting is a didgeridoo, Tali.
Very aptly dressed for a Melbourne setting. I feel like it's not that far from maybe what some people in Fitzroy might wear these days.
Yeah, fashion is cyclical. It all comes back.
Yeah. So New Line basically wanted to start it off with a lighter tone. The other cuts, I think there's some soundtrack cuts, and they added more dubbing, because that was in the weird period of time where they would dub over Australian accents.
Right.
Because, I don't know, people couldn't understand us, which kind of sounds fucking stupid if you ask me.
Oh, I don't know about that. Sometimes I have trouble understanding Aussies as well.
Yeah, but listen, look, there's thick accents, but this is everyone who is in the movie is from Melbourne, who have that, cultivated accent.
True.
If you can't understand that, then, I don't know, you literally have hearing problems.
Yeah.
If you're a native English speaker.
Interestingly, this is the first film of Jackie Chan's that was scripted and shot entirely in English, different to Rumble in the Bronx, where they all, use their native tongues and then redubbed it over. This was all in English. So Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung makes a cameo as well. They're all speaking English.
Well, he directed the movie.
Yeah,
so
he directed this film.
makes fun of himself again, being a fat guy.
Yes,
owns it, man.
It was his thing. Yeah, I didn't really notice the redubbing much. Just
noticeable with the actress who plays Letitia during one particular scene where I think the performance on screen is really over the top, but then her ADR at the point must have just been a little bit more downplayed, it seemed.
Thief! I'm gonna split your skull!
Yeah, I just noticed that. Yeah, this is ADR, but Again, it's a Jackie Chan film, so I don't really mind that much.
Yeah, you're not there for the dialogue, to be honest.
Yeah.
So the setup is, Giancarlo and the demons are having this face-off in a warehouse. It all erupts into gangland violence, and then Giancarlo discovers that there are a couple of reporters in the shadows filming them. The reporters are Diana and her cameraman Richard is his name. I remember this actually because as they're running away,
really?
she's like, Richard, hurry, hurry, Richard. And I'm like, stop saying his name. Richard! Like there aren't that many camera guys in Melbourne named Richard. They're going to be able to find him even if he gets away. But he doesn't get away. He gets captured by the gang anyway. So
He gets shot. Yeah.
yeah, I guess no harm, no foul.
I wonder what camera he's using that can shoot close-ups, edit, and get good audio all at the same time
I have the
from a
same
distance.
notes. When they review the tape later in the movie, it's just expertly edited. Got different angles and shit.
I know. God, what? Editing in real time on videotapes? God damn, man. What a guy. He's like an unsung hero. He's not forgotten in my books. I know he's forgotten by his partner, who doesn't even tell the police that he's missing or anything.
Yeah,
He's
she doesn't.
I'm
I
just
didn't
going to
even
go
catch
home
that.
and just strip and review the tape.
Yeah.
I saw you got shot, but I'm sure that's fine. I'm sure you'll get out of it. And he's actually not dead. He's just oh, I'm sorry I didn't get away.
Yeah.
Oh, no shit. He might be the best cameraman in the world, but he's not impervious to bullets.
Yeah, no, he's too dedicated to his craft, Tavi.
What a guy.
He was running away while editing the film simultaneously. That's how he got caught.
You know, he would have gotten away if he wasn't editing. It's not sure about this angle. It's not sure about the timing of this edit. Yeah. And I better check the noise levels as well.
Bang! No, I've been shot. I've been caught. Oh.
Yeah.
Here, quick, take the tape. Take the tape that I've worked so hard on.
Richard!
Yeah,
So
that's right.
Diana manages to get away with the help of Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan sees that this woman is being pursued by a bunch of guys in suits. He naturally assumes that the guys in suits are bad guys, so he kind of beats them up and helps Diana escape. Through the alleyways of West Melbourne, they go to Franklin Place and Batman Street. The chase interrupts this weird bikey group wedding.
Yeah. That's kind of maybe an old Australian staple thing.
Yeah,
when
it felt
the
pretty
Hells Angels
Australian.
were kind of more of a presence.
The ice cream guy from Rumble in the Bronx makes an appearance. Emil Chow. He has a little-
That scene is really funny.
Yeah.
The way, because Jackie's trying to run away from the goons and he hides in the truck. The guy kind of sells him out for no reason.
Yeah.
But he just thought that they were playing.
Yeah.
And as a grown adult, see, a scrambling Asian man running away from big burly white men in suits with guns, you kind of would assume that they're not just playing around.
Yeah, well, it's the 90s, Tubby. It's a different time. People were much more innocent back then, particularly Asian immigrants. Couldn't do that these days, Tubby. I tell you that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jackie tries to escape using a giant inflatable gorilla, but a goon shoots it. Just opening fire in public. I love how all these Aussie guys jump on the guy with the gun, even though he's got a gun.
Oh, yeah.
Because you would. If your mate jumps in, you would jump in as well.
Yeah, especially if you're a bikie as well. You just what's this? What are you doing? You fucking dog. Get fucking on the ground.
And then he rescues the reporter in the car, but the tapes get switched during the chase. So unbeknownst to either of them, Jackie takes home the incriminating evidence against Giancarlo's gang, while the reporter takes home a tape of Jackie's cooking show. She realizes that she's got the wrong tape. The bad guys also realize that she's got the wrong tape, so they capture her and try to take her away, but she makes a dashing escape in her undies. We kind of get some character development with Jackie and some side characters that are pretty inconsequential, to be honest.
Lakeisha, you're talking about how she kind of likes Jackie, but then it's the cuter Asian girl comes in.
Yeah, there's a
and she's
weird, kind of a triangle, but not really a triangle going on.
Yeah,
I think there are too many female characters in this movie, Tavi. And we don't say that often in a Jackie Chan movie, but there's Lakeisha, his assistant. There's Diana, the reporter. There's his girlfriend, Mickey, and there's also a female gang member in the Demons who is kind of prominent, but she also kind of disappears at a point. So
yeah, that's actually true. Actually, I do want to make a note on the version I watched. In the original Golden Harvest version, I think the movie is apparently 13 minutes longer, but a lot of it is just little bits of edits here and there. But when I was watching this movie, I kind of noticed that there was like, man, there's a lot of violence against women in this movie.
Okay.
And then when I was reading the wiki, that your version was different, that they'd removed a lot or they'd cut a lot. Like, did you notice anything?
Where's the tape?
With that guy.
Where's the tape?
I don't know.
it wasn't noticeable in my edit. Why? What happens in your version?
There's just a lot of like cuts of the guards or whoever just punching one of the three female characters like in the stomach, and it looks very painful.
Okay.
It was just very noticeable. I'm like, that's kind of like a bit rough. What did you think about the three leads actually?
Yeah, I mean,
leads?
Lakeisha doesn't really do that much, to be honest.
Yeah.
To be honest, none of the women do that much in this movie. They're all there, and I guess they get beaten up in your version quite a lot.
Mickey is probably does like the least. She's just a damsel.
Yeah, I feel like she's just there for the Chinese audience.
Yeah.
Like it's weird because they take turns getting pursued and captured. I feel like you could have consolidated all of those pursuits and captures into one character. And probably Diana seems the most necessary to the plot.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a point where 2 out of 3 of them just kind of drop away and fade away just before the climax.
Yeah. Jumping ahead a bit, there's kind of like the worst tailing mission ever by the Australian police.
Oh yeah, that's the Melbourne tourism ad, Tavi, where
Yeah, that is the Melbourne tourism ad. Yeah, there's like, oh, they're in St Kilda Beach.
the demons have captured Mickey, and they call Jackie on the telephone to give him instructions. They call him from multiple tourist locations scattered around Melbourne. We've got the Victoria Markets in there. We've got St Kilda Beach in there.
Get on the tram. Get off Melbourne Central. Get back on the tram. Get to Victoria Market.
Just name dropping all these tourist locations. Pretty good. I hope Melbourne paid handsomely for that.
It's funny because we were young when they were making this movie, and they were filming in some pretty busy areas of Melbourne. Like, good luck getting a film production that big ever again in Melbourne. Because you're going to have to close down a lot of streets and stuff.
They have a horse and cart chase down like Swanston Street.
Yeah, no, that's not a...
That's one of the main business areas in Melbourne.
It is,
and it's like during the day as well.
These days, if you're in the city, everyone hates film crews. Everyone just hates them. Like, what are you doing? Oh, I've lived here my whole life. Oh, I'm going to call the police. And everyone's just pissed. Everyone just hates you. If you're carrying a camera, people hate you.
Yeah, this is probably unique to Melbourne. Sydney is welcoming all the film crews.
Really?
Yeah, man. The Fall Guy was shot here. Anyone But You. All films from last year, Tavi. Sydney's all over it, mate.
I feel like it's not. But anyway.
But it's the 90s and everybody loves Jackie Chan at this point.
Yeah,
he's done nothing controversial at this point, so we love him. So he's running around Melbourne. He's running around the streets. He's teleporting all over the place.
Smashing through off your tree signs.
Yes.
And then making Mickey duck underneath that same sign that was broken in a couple of shots before.
Yeah.
So there's obviously
some
quite a few continuity areas.
Yeah,
but it doesn't really matter, yeah.
Off your tree is one of the most 90s Australian things.
They still have off your tree around.
Do
For
they?
those who are not familiar with off your tree, it's kind of a tattooist weed den.
It's where you go to buy bombs.
Yeah. And then there's the academic bookshop.
Oh, yeah. I bought my textbooks from there.
Yeah, I think that one's not there anymore, but I think there's still one in Mount Alexander Road.
Good old academic in general. Ripping off students since the 80s.
Yeah. Good stuff.
But no, the action scenes in general are pretty creative. You know, it's a Jackie Chan film. I really like the horse and cart scene.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of use of the environment, like a lot of creative use of the environment. They also feel pretty dangerous. Like when his girlfriend falls onto the horse, and I'm like, oh my God, she's going to be killed. And I feel like you don't get a sense of that kind of danger a lot in Jackie Chan movies, aside from the danger to Jackie himself when he's doing like the big stunts. Yeah, I feel like the stunt work in general is a cut above some of his other movies.
I think the stunt work is really good and the choreography is good. My issue is how some of it was edited.
Okay.
I think there's a close quarters scene where he's kind of in the back of a van or something. It was just overly edited.
Right, that's the cameo of Sammo Hung, right?
Yeah.
There's a few scenes where they kind of like lower the shutter speed or something when he's running.
Oh yeah, to give him the superhuman he's running really fast look.
That's a weird direction.
Well, it's to show that he's running as fast as a horse.
Yeah.
Catch Mickey as she's flying through the air.
This dude's
That's
a
pretty
chef.
dangerous.
This dude's a celebrity chef, by the way. This was the era where Jackie Chan character would have some random ass job, but he'd still be like an expert martial artist and parkourer.
I feel like they tried to explain it a little bit. Maybe this wasn't in your version. Was there a dinner scene?
Yeah, there's a dinner scene with him and the Italian
cop.
family. Yeah, the cop's family.
And was there a bit where they're like, oh, I'm with Jackie and I promised to look after him and make sure that he's not a cop? And then his friend Romeo, who's a cop, he's like, but do you ever think about what Jackie wants?
Oh,
but
okay.
I feel like they're kind of shoehorning in an idea that maybe Jackie Chan wanted to be a cop
That's
or was a good fighter,
okay.
but they just made him become a chef. But then that's the only backstory,
Right.
and it's never touched on again. That's my take from it.
Because my version was missing those bits of dialogue. I think.
Oh,
it was
yeah, I thought so.
edited
Yeah,
down.
they just cut it out. Yeah.
I find that scene really funny in my version because it's just the dad going, Jackie will never be a cop. I'm going to keep him safe forever. And then it cuts to the son who is a cop looking real sad. He's like, oh. Side note, his name is Romeo Baggio. And I just lolled when he said his name. It's like they
Romeo
just called
Baggio.
him the first thing that came to their mind.
What did you think about the food that he was serving? Because Jackie Chan's a chef, right? It looked very, Gordon Ramsay would say, outdated. It's a very outdated menu.
Okay.
It didn't look good. Because I'm like,
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't notice the food that much. I was more fixated on the weird pseudo-Italian accent that the dad put on when they were doing their broadcasting. Like sometimes he sounds like Dracula.
After the show, Jackie will do the same to your hair.
It was really weird. But he doesn't sound like that when he's at home. So I'm guessing it's supposed to be like a persona that he's putting on.
Yeah, stage show. Yeah. I enjoyed that scene at Melbourne Central.
Where he's chucking the egg at people.
Yeah.
I feel like that takes more skill on the recipient's end than the sender's end.
Actually, that's true. Obviously, everyone who did that was part of the Jackie Chan stunt team or some trained person.
You need excellent hand-eye coordination to be able to catch an egg from that distance in your
I
mouth.
don't know, right?
The guy catches it from the second floor, like what?
In the same shot as well.
Yeah, man.
Imagine doing that these days. Oh, that egg wasn't gluten-free.
Yeah, it didn't contain non-dairy alternatives.
Oh, it was cooked in peanut oil. I'm highly allergic to peanuts.
That's actually
so I'm dead
dangerous,
now.
Tavi.
It is dangerous, yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, there you go.
But I think the stunt work in general is really good because I didn't notice a lot of Asian stunt doubling in this film. There are actually a lot of Australian stunt actors.
Yeah. You'll notice a lot of the Jackie Chan stunt members are like usually Australian. I feel like Jackie Chan has kind of a close tie with Australian stunt work.
I mean, we got Brad Allen in this film. Rest in peace.
He makes an appearance.
Maybe
in
he
it.
got all his mates a job with Jackie once he ingratiated himself into that circle.
The 80s had just finished, so towards the end of the new wave era of Australian filmmaking where everything was a little bit more gung-ho, so stunt people were more willing to take damage. So I think a lot of people were like, yeah, I'll do it. And also it was probably cheaper to get the Aussies there as well.
Yeah, and it's good because the cast looks really Aussie. Like,
they do, yeah.
The whole cast, they all fit in the Melbourne setting.
Yeah, they really take advantage of it, huh? Even Giancarlo's house looks very much like something that would have been made in Melbourne. Just the odd colors, the out of place pictures of buildings and shit, and just the weird artwork in his house seems like, I'm pretty sure I've seen that house in Melbourne somewhere.
I think that scene was shot in...
Probably New South Wales.
yeah, I think it was Hunter Valley.
Oh, Hunter
Yeah.
Valley.
Speaking of Giancarlo, played by Richard Norton, he's
Yep.
chewing a lot of scenery. This guy,
Yeah, it's doing a lot of scenery. He's
he's like in a completely different movie, Tavi. This guy.
he's a martial artist as well. Because there's obviously a one-on-one fight between Jackie Chan and Richard Norton. And it was a little bit lackluster, to be honest. It's the one where Jackie Chan is held by the ropes by his goons.
Yeah.
But he kind of defeats Giancarlo quite easily. And then most of the climax scene is just a very elaborate destruction of his
Yeah.
house using a massive, one of those big mining trucks.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is actually very Australian if you think about it, because that's where most of our fucking industry makes their money, really.
Yep, not untrue.
But it's also like, I want to see fighting,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
just
yeah.
wanton destruction.
That scene
Yeah.
with the ropes feels more like a first stage boss fight, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like a warm up. And it happens like toward the end of the film, but not right at the end of the film as well. So I did feel like the climax of the film was missing an additional boss fight.
Yeah, I really wish there was, because it seems like Richard Norton is quite an established martial artist, just having a quick glance.
He was with Jackie Chan in City Hunter, right?
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
And that scene with the ropes is pretty fun. Like, it's a good concept and good execution of the concept. But yeah, you're right. It is a bit brief. And
Yeah, it's fun. I feel like it would have been better if he had beaten Richard Norton with the ropes. It's like, fuck it. Like, you guys are useless. Now let's fight for real. But it's just kind of like, the cops are coming. And it's like, oh, well, I guess we're not fighting anymore.
Yeah.
That's it. But yeah, he just had fun chewing scenery.
Yeah.
I especially also really liked the construction fight scene, especially some of the pretty dangerous stunts involving buzzsaws and Jackie Chan jumping over buzzsaws and his dick nearly getting hit by a fucking buzzsaw.
Yeah.
And on another note, where are all the workers in this construction
It's
building?
clearly after midday, Tavi, so they've all gone home for the day, man. They're not fucking slaves, Tavi.
This is the most Australian thing ever.
Yeah, man.
Tradies, not at their workplace, but just having smoke go somewhere else.
They probably had Red Rooster, Tavi. They're probably out having a Big M, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the life of a tradie right there. Yeah.
This film's Australian as, Tavi.
Yeah, I fucking loved this movie as a kid because, yeah, it's shot in Melbourne. It's got the classic Jackie Chan tropes, a lot of comedy. The Scooby-Doo scene before the construction work battle is quite fun as well.
Yeah, a lot of good escaping scenes.
Probably in hindsight now, though, it's probably not one of his best movies.
I think, aside from the ending, it's pretty solid, man. I think if it did have a better ending, it would be up there. But yeah, I think the ending kind of lets it down. But yeah, the climax, like I said, he drives a truck into Giancarlo's residence. That's a crime. You probably shouldn't do that. But it is similar to the hovercraft scene in Rumble in the Bronx.
Rumble in the Bronx. Yeah, after he's blown up the building, he's like, did you see anything? Nope.
Yeah.
Did you guys see anything? It's like, nope.
Excellent police work.
Excellent police work.
Yeah.
Police corruption.
Like
right
how
there.
he drives the truck into like a exterior building, and it's entirely made of wood. But the moment he drives into it, it just explodes. It just bursts into flames.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
But honestly, it's really well shot in the sense that they would have had to get cameras inside, and from what I can tell, there wasn't any CG being used, and shit is collapsing all over the place.
Yeah.
Very impressive on a technical scale.
Yeah.
Just not really what you want to see in a Jackie Chan movie.
Yeah, as far as Jackie Chan films go, I think this is kind of like the weird middle point just prior to Rush Hour, where he was kind of like, didn't really know what he was going for. He didn't realize that the next like 5 years of his life was going to be dedicated to buddy cop movies.
Yeah.
In various forms. So it's a transitional phase in Jackie Chan's career. But yeah, I really enjoyed it for the Australianisms alone.
I'll have to say about Jackie himself, he gets a lot of credit for being a great martial artist and a stuntman. But I feel like in the Western world, doesn't get enough credit as being an awesome singer, because I'm not sure if this was in the New Line version, but he has a song at the end for Mr. Nice Guy as well. It's just Jackie singing it. Yeah, all this shit is just catchy, man. It's just very enjoyable to listen to Jackie Chan singing. It kind of just adds this extra layer of coolness, I guess.
I feel like he's wanted to be a singer, but his career just led him down this path. He's almost like the character in this movie, Tavi.
Yeah.
You know?
What if he wanted to be a singer? What if he didn't want to be a stuntman? He could be a singer.
Yeah.
Figures do it all. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's good. His acting is really good as well. Like, like he's done all this in English, which isn't his first language, but his acting is better than some of the English-speaking actors in this film.
If you look at the wiki and then you see that most of the actors here don't have wiki links of their own, so I assume this movie was like a one and done for them. It's like, yeah.
We got some Australian character actors in there. I recognize Diana from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. I feel like that girl from the Demons gang has been in stuff as well.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen her from somewhere, but I don't know that character's name. Oh, she was in Xena
There you
a
go.
lot.
Yeah.
She does look like someone who's been on Xena.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got that vibe. But yeah, that has been Mr. Nice Guy. Thank you for listening to this episode of Jackie Chan-uary. Here is a hint to what we are doing next week. It's a bit of SEO massaging, Tavi. That's what that's.
Yeah, you love the SEO shit, man.
I haven't seen this film, actually.
Oh, really? I thought you've seen it.
No, I haven't seen it. I wonder if it's good. Probably not.
Oh, yeah. I hear it's okay.
Okay. Well, we got no room for okay. We can only talk about bad or good films here.
Yeah.
But if you enjoyed this video and you're a fan of things that are okay, maybe you'd be interested in checking out our podcast, Two Asian Blokes. It's a weekly podcast where we talk about Asian pop culture, films, TV shows, comic books, and such. Available anywhere you get your podcasts. Check it out if you can. But yeah, that's it from us for now. Until next time, guys. See you later.
See you later.
Jackie Chan-uary.
Bye.
And it's so funny.